Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Codewati. In today's video, which is going to see about XP Extreme Programming. Topic of discussion would be on XP terminology, core values, roles, and its practices. Just to start getting into what XP is all about, XP is just one of our Agile framework, but specifically meant for software development. In previous video, I would have explained about Scrum, which is both meant for software and other projects management methodology. In XP, it mostly deals with software development, best practices, and those kind of thing. As you can see in the quick diagram over here, okay, it starts with the planning, then software testing, then customer testing, and then finally the end code for deployment. Before getting into the core concept of XP, let's see a quick difference between Scrum and XP. So Scrum is meant for all projects, whereas XP is focused only on the software development. Scrum mostly deals with prioritizing works and getting feedbacks, whereas XP mostly covers the software development best practices and the standards which need to be followed by the developers when they are developing a program. They From the terminology point of view, both XP and Scrum will remain the same, but the terms which is used to denote a particular thing will be different from XP to Scrum. So this slide will help you to understand what are those terminology and how they are linked. So the sprint in Scrum is actually called as iteration over here, but both are the same. Release in Scrum is named as short release. Sprint planning is named as planning games, which we will be covering up in the upcoming slides. Product owners are called as customers. Retrospective, basically the lesson learned meeting is called as reflection over here. Scrum Master is renamed as coach. Development team is renamed as team. Daily Scrum is called as daily stand-up meeting. What are the core values when XP actually resides on? Is simplicity, communication, feedback, courage, and respect. So simplicity is basically insist people to ignore complexity, write code in a simple way, follow simple process, so that is easily understandable and adaptable by the team at some point in time. Communication is very essential, and XP encourage communication among the team. One of the basic things with respect to SP is never ever miss out your daily stand-up meeting. It is actually a very key when it comes to the XP part. So feedback is basically getting customer impression at the earlier stage, so that if at all you want to fail fast, understand the customer requirement, and then try to meet their needs. Courage is basically encourage people to be visible or show visibility across the codes, across the development area, so that everything is known by everyone, which will reduce people dependency but encourage a lot of people collaboration. Of course, it has its both positive and negative impacts as well. Respect differences, which is basically try to bring people together and try to make everyone accountable. So in Scrum, is basically focus on only one people is accountable, is made as accountable. When we look into the Rocky matrix, that is the key concept. But when it comes to the XP programming, it encourages people, everyone to be accountable with respect to everything. Only roles, when it comes to the XP roles, coach is basically a mentor who guides the team to be stayed on track. Customer is the one who will be defining requirement and priorities. In XP, they will be the business representative, and we encourage customer to write the test cases as well. Programmer is the one who actually writes the code. Tester is the one who go for the acceptance testing. But mostly XP encourage customers to write a test case because they are the end consumers or the users. So it would be great if they write the test case and we develop codes on top of it. Planning games is basically consist of two things. One is planning your releases and planning your iterations. Basically, plan the 2 to 4 weeks of work which you will be taking up in the upcoming iteration. Small releases, encourage very small releases to frequently push. Encourage people to frequently push small releases to the testing environment where the customer can test it and post their feedbacks on top of it. Collective code ownership is basically multiple people taking ownership on the code, multiple people working on the same code. encouraging visibility across the code. This is linked with directly linked with the core values which we spoke in the initial slide. It's like no motivating, encourage people to have a visibility across the code. Encourage customer to write their own test cases. Since XP is all about including the development best practices, like every people will have their tendency to write their own code in their own standard. XP strongly recommend people to follow some coding guidelines, which is a ground rule. So any developer, irrespective of his background, needs to adapt to this coding standard and need to work accordingly. Always try to commit workload on a sustainable phase. Don't overstretch. So if at all you stretched 16 hours a week, do not commit any task thinking that you can stretch for a week and do it, because you won't be in a position to keep up the same pace. Try to be consistent in your delivery and try to commit a sustainable workload. Metaphor is basically both, like non-technical people tends to talk in technical terms which might not be easily understandable by the end business user. So XP encourage people to use smileys, try to convey things in an normal user format so that business people can understand the language which the developer speaks. Continuous integrations is basically like, since multiple people will be working on the same source code, each feature will be handled by a different developer. Say, let's say, in that case, like no people will be pushing their codes during the time of release, so everything need to be integrated and work smoothly. Test driven development, which basically write your test case first and then go for the development. When you start writing your test case, you will try to identify all the possible means by it can fail. It's kind of a post FMBA, and it will avoid bugs at the later stage of the code, which will be kind of complicate to fix it. Pair programming is asking two people to work on the code so that dependency can be reduced and lot of knowledge sharing will be happening. Lot of collaborative work. People will be putting lot of thought process when they work on the same code. Simple design, it is actually in line with the simplicity core value which I initially spoke. Make your code very simple, easily browsable. Try to put comments at all possible places so that people can easily read it. Refracting is a very key concept when it comes to the XP. It's basically like no remove all the junk codes which is not necessary for the function. So when we start writing, developing a project, we will be developing a lot of lines, and later based on the customer feedback or based on the performance optimization, we'll be doing a lot of changes in the code. And in most cases we don't do the code cleaning, so that like no lot of junk line of codes or unused functionality will still remain in your project source code. XP encourage you to clean those things regularly so that you always try to have a optimized code on your level, which is like very clear and understandable by everyone. So that's all with the concept of XP. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for our next video. Hit on the like button, share and subscribe and comment. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.